not a 6'9", 16 kid. What's some of the things you heard coming out of high school?
I've heard it all. I've heard everything you could hear as an undersized guard. He can't play at like the D1 level. Can't even play varsity. I mean, my whole mindset is just to keep my head down and just like stay grinding, stay working. I never looked at my height as like a downgrade to like anyone else. Like I always use it as an advantage.
Could you tell me some things that used to work for you in high school versus being in college?
The physicality from high school to like the D1 level is huge. Getting to the rim is something like you really got to be cautious of at that next level. You can't play off one. It has to be off two everywhere.
Go off two.
Off two pivots. You have to have sort of that like Jalen Brunson like game in the paint. It's really all pick and rolls at that level. If you can master that pick and roll in high school, that translates to that D1 level.
So no dribble tween.
No, none of that.
No
none of
10,
that.
15 dribbles to score.
None of that. We have something where we do 10 and 6. You got 10 seconds to make 6 passes in transition. If you don't, like, you're getting subbed out.
Welcome back to Score Society TV, Season 2, Episode 1. Today I have a special guest, but before we start, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. We want to keep getting great guests. We want to keep boosting the channel, so we need your help. Like, subscribe, and share. Now, today this guest is very, very special to me because he don't know how we met. He don't know how we met. And I'm going to tell you how we met. I'm going to tell everyone how we met. So, one day I'm at Cheviot Hills, right? And playing open gym. And I have winners. I come on. And we need another player. And I was watching this kid. And he shot his team out of the game, right? So he's the only kid who was left who I could pick. So in my mind, at that time, well, not in my mind, at that time, he looked like a 7th, 8th grader, right? Hear me out. And so we pick him up. Start killing. Hit the last 4 shots to win the game for us. Fast forward, I go to Crossroads to check out a game. I'm about to, they're trying to get me in the coach. And I see this kid. I thought he was in the 7th grade, but I believe he was a junior or a senior and was killing it.
That's funny.
Please welcome USD guard, Joey Chamma.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
No problem, buddy.
That's crazy, man. Like I would never expect that. You had me thinking too. I was like, where do I know you from? I don't know. It's not clicking, but
all good. No worries. Yeah, I mean, like I said, you probably played basketball a lot. I wasn't probably doing anything special. I tore my ACL 5 years ago or something like that, and I think I was playing on the torn ACL, so I wasn't doing anything special for you to remember me. But I remember you. That's why I wanted to get you on the show. Because not only do I remember you from that night, I also remember you from Crossroads. I also remember some of the stuff you were doing. So, good baller. And, I wanted to hear about your journey. I want to hear about your journey. First, talk to me, man. When did you start playing ball?
I don't know. I'd say probably like 7, 8 years old. Like since I was since I was young, I just fell in love with the game. I was playing up at the YMCA. My dad would coach me all the time. Every weekend, getting shots after practice, stuff like that. Just slowly started to fall in love with it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So, at what point did you start taking it serious? I know at YMCA is usually more participation. Everyone wins over there. It's pretty nice environment, nice culture. But
yeah. I'd say I probably started taking it seriously like 5th grade, 4th grade. Like I would travel to all these AAU tournaments and whatnot. It was competitive at the time, I was playing with some good guys, Jared McCain, one of them, Aiden Mahaney, who's at UConn right now. So I've been at this for a minute now, competing, traveling at a pretty high level.
Good for you. Yeah. And you had a couple. Now, I remember, like I said, I remember you at Crossroads, but I remember one day checking on you to see, checking on with my guy AD, like, hey, what happened to the kid Joey? He's like, hey, he got injured or something like that. What injuries did you go through?
Yeah, so after I went to Crossroads, my time at Crossroads, I broke my wrist and I broke my nose. So, the high school season's short, so you get injury like that, it kind of sets you back a little bit. But then after Crossroads, my freshman year at USD, I broke both my feet, which is kind of bizarre.
Really?
Yeah, so the left one broke during practice. broke the left one. Like, I felt like a crack all through my leg, right? I was telling the athletic guy at the time, like the athletic trainer, I was like, I think I popped a blood vessel. He's like, try walking. He's like, nah, man, like, you need to get an x-ray.
You broke both your feet?
Yeah, so I broke the first one. The first one was the left one. I broke that in practice. Went next week, got surgery, got a screw placed in there. I'd say like 6-7 weeks later, when the left one fully healed, I came back and I snapped my right foot. Same bones, same surgery, same procedure, same everything.
Really?
Yeah.
And what grade were you in?
This was freshman year
Of
college at USD.
Wow.
Yeah, actually, I just had surgery on my second foot maybe like a year ago today.
So what goes through your mind during that time? Like because a lot of players, they go through these injuries. I mean, the injury like that, both your feet broken, you need your feet to play basketball.
Oh, for sure.
What goes through your mind? How are you getting through it?
Yeah, I was definitely like a very dark time for me, just because of the way it happened, you know? It was super unfortunate. And plus, that was at the time where, like, I just started gradually, like, playing well in game. I started getting, like, a little more burn. Like, I'd see, like, 3 minutes, then my next game would be 6 minutes. And I was hooping at the time, keep in mind. So then hearing about that news was dark. It was dark for me. It was dark for my family. Just the way it happened, the pain I went through, like, the rehab during that time, like, not knowing if I'd come back the same. Because it was one of those weird, like, feet injuries where it's, like, you're, like, kind of overthinking. Like, you got a screw in there. Like, am I going to be able to move the same, like, agility-wise? So, I don't know. It was definitely concerning at the time. But looking at the bigger picture, I definitely say it helped me in some sort of way. Like, I was trying to look at, like, some positive sides of it of, like, hey, maybe I could use this medical red shirt and look back at it from a few years from now and be like, okay, like, I'm glad I got hurt. But at the time, it was just like, hey, just, like, keep going, keep the rehab going. Because, like...
How long was the rehab?
I say the rehab was, like, close to 2 hours every day, 5 days a week. You
For
know?
how long? 5 months?
Like 5-6 months.
Sheesh.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot.
Sheesh.
And plus, it was a lot, like, because they say, oh, yeah, when you're hurt in college and stuff like that, like, you get to take time to relax, like, chill, step away from basketball. But, like, no, that wasn't it for me. Like, it was still 8:30 a.m. classes till 12:05. Go to rehab from 1 to 3, and then sit down, watch practice from 3 to 6, and then do study hall from 7:30 to 9. So it was like, it was even more than what, you know, a regular, like, healthy, like, basketball, like, athlete would do, you know what I mean? So it was tough. It was definitely tough, but I stuck through it, and now we're here.
I want to know, I mean, because you threw me off with the whole both feet.
Yeah.
That threw me off. But I really want to know from Crossroads, right? So you're not a 6'9", 6'10" kid.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm sure, like, you like height or size became an issue for you. What's some of the things you heard coming out of high school?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard it all. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I've heard everything you could hear as an undersized guard. Especially being I was under recruited. I heard, like, he can't play at, like, the D1 level, right? Like, people couldn't even think I could play at Crossroads. That was a huge, like, that was a big deal breaker. Could even play varsity and for AD and stuff like that. So I've heard it all, but I mean, my whole mindset is just to keep my head down and just, like, stay grinding, stay working. I never looked at my height as like a downgrade to, like, anyone else. Like, I always use it as an advantage. Just getting to my sweet spots, using my, like, basketball savvy, that, like, feel, that, like, flow for the game to get me to my spots and my places, using my quickness. You know, there's so much you could do as a undersized guard at any level you play at and do well at, you know? You can draw fouls more than probably anyone else but a big man, you know?
Right.
Get to your spots, talk and be a leader. Like, you have so much power over everyone else, and you could use that to your advantage for sure.
How did you get to, was USD, was they recruiting you out of high school? How did that?
No, the USD, like,
them?
landing there was like a different story. Like, I was being recruited by Hawaii, like UC Riverside. I actually went unofficial to UC Riverside. Portland, let's see, some Montana, UC Riverside, yeah. So I was being, and then a whole bunch of, like, D2, D3s. But my boy who was like, yo, like, they're having an open run at USD, you should go. And, like, my whole, like, plan for college was, like, hey, I want to stay close to home. Like, I don't want to be too far. Like, I want to be, like, in a good system where, Like they love me just like everyone else, right?
Right.
So I was down. I went. I took the 2-hour ride there. Went there. I hooped, and just in an open scrimmage with the guys and stuff like that. And I just I went to work. I killed, right? Talked to the coaches and stuff. They were still like, oh, okay, we want to see him do it again. So very next week, they text my boy. They're like, hey, bring him down again. So I go down again. I do the same thing. Like, I'm talking about 30 points on them. Like, I just going to work, right? And then I did that 4 times. I went down 4 times, right?
Really?
Yeah, I went down 4 times, just trying to make a name for myself, like making that statement, yo, I belong here. So after the 4th time, I got to speak to the head coach, now Lavin, and he was like, man, he said one thing that stood out to me, because they were watching, they would watch, all the way at the top where, the suites were and stuff like that. He's like, when I watch you play, he's like, you remind me of, a 6'5", 6'6" guard. You don't even look, you don't play like your height. Uh-huh. And, that stuck with me, and he just, told me how much he loved my game and how he think I can make an impact here and play for him. And he told me all the undersized guards he's had and where they're at now and how he's developed them. And I just thought it was a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer, yeah.
I mean, you're definitely a good player, definitely smooth on the court. That's why I definitely like your game.
Yeah.
But for me as a coach, right, I get kids and I try to tell them, certain things won't work.
Yeah.
That you do now won't work at the next level.
No, for sure, yeah.
Could you tell me some things that used to work for you in high school versus being in college right now?
No, for sure. I think the physicality from high school to the D1 level is huge. It's huge. Not necessarily the skill gap, because you can be a skilled player in high school, and that will translate. That will translate to that D1 level, because there's only so much you could really perfect, right? Mm-hmm. But I say getting to the rim is something you really got to be cautious of at that next level. You can't play off one. You just can't play. It has to be off 2 everywhere.
Go off 2.
Off 2 pivots. You have to have sort of that Jalen Brunson game in the paint. Get off 2, and I mean it's really all pick and rolls at that level. So if you can master that pick and roll in high school, that translates to that D1 level.
Did you do a lot of pick and rolls in high school?
I did, yeah. That's kind of my bread and butter. If I get a guy on my hip, I can just go to work because I have control of all that. So I was doing a lot of pick and rolls in high school, not necessarily in the games, but I figured on the off season that's what I need to work on, and then catch and shoot threes, them corner threes, because you're gonna get a lot of them.
So no dribble tween.
No, none of that.
No
none of
10,
that.
15 dribbles to score.
None of that. We have something where we do 10 and 6. You got 10 seconds to make 6 passes in transition. If you don't, you're getting subbed out. Yeah, really? You can't do none of that. None of between. Unless you're maybe a senior there, coach loves you. That's your team. You can do a little bit of that, but you can't be doing none of that, especially for my coach.
Nice.
Man, none of that.
Talk about the workload, man. I know in high school you got 1 practice a day.
Yeah.
See, I'm pretty sure you got about 3 practices a day over there.
Nah, man, it's definitely it's ruthless the way they have us working, but I guess it's better. We're trying to be a good team. We're doing just about 3 a days. Whether it's we weight lift from 1 to 2, and then we got rehab before that. Sometimes we have mandatory rehab where we're just getting our body right. So that's also a little workout in itself, Mm-hmm. So let's say rehab from 12 to 12:55, weightlifting from 1 to 2, practice from 3 to 6, and then you got to get shots up after. You got to get shots up after. So it's a lot, and that's something you got to be extremely cautious of. Don't outwork yourself and don't outwork your body, because a lot of guys get hurt around this time of year, even before the season, especially incoming freshmen like myself last year. I think that's what it was. You gotta be careful. You can't be doing any extra stuff. You gotta watch out. Keep your body right, eat well. Do all the extra stuff to keep you right and keep you healthy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So y'all starting off slow this year, and that's okay, because it builds character. I've been on teams where we started off slow, and we start to fall apart.
Yeah.
People start to fall apart. People start to do their own thing. Tell me, how do ones use a point guard, a leader?
Yeah.
How do you keep the group together during these times?
I mean, it's one thing if you have a group of guys who are checked out, right? Or just like don't care, don't want to hoop. But we're such a young team that just like continues to like grow and learn after every game. You know, we probably I don't know, we only have like 3 or 4 returning guys. The rest are completely new to either the division D1 level or like coming out of high school. But just being able to have like a group of guys around you that want to get better and want to learn and want to grow just makes it so much easier. You know what I mean? It makes the practice fun, like competing every single day. Like the competitive of practice is at like an all-time high. You know, even when we lose, even when we get blown out, we're coming back the very next day, like eager to learn and just trying to get after it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the growing pains, though. You know, everyone, I think, is good. I mean, I hate that you guys got to go through it, but I think it's good when you do go through it, as long as you keep your head in it. Because those years are long. Those bus rides, those plane rides, they get longer and longer.
Man, the travels are crazy. Like we're coming back home, and that's also something like from high school to like this level is crazy. Like you're coming back at 2 a.m. and then you have practice at like 1 p.m. Like that's crazy. Yeah, and you're flying like 3-hour flights. Like your body's all sore, banged up and stuff. But I mean, like if you watch our practice after that after landing at 2 a.m., you would think we've been rested for like 3 days. That's how bad like we're trying to get after and stuff like that.
What if you had to go back and tell your younger self some advice?
Yeah.
Before you got to this level, what would it be?
I'd definitely say like there's gonna be ups and downs for sure, because it's a roller coaster. Like at this level, like it's really roller coaster. You don't know what's gonna happen. I just say like keep your head up, keep working, and keep going. Because there's been times throughout this process where, trust me, like the only thing I want to do is put that basketball down and run, and just like run from the game. But that's when you develop, man, and that's when like you're really starting to become that player you want to be. Is when you're at that point where you feel like there's 1,000 bricks over your shoulders and you can't get up, and you don't see any light at the end of the tunnel. That's when you start to prevail and you start to see some light. Yeah.
And if you had to give a kid advice, because I want to also talk to the youth, because you know that's why I got you on the show, because you in college and I've watched your growth somewhat.
Yeah.
What can you tell a kid? What should they be working on right now? If let's say your size. How tall are you? 6 foot? 5'11"?
5'11".
5'11", 6 foot. Well, you said 5'11", so 5'11".
5'11".
5'11", and guard Division I.
Yeah.
What should they be working on?
I think the biggest thing, like offensively, like definitely like you have to have a shot at this level to be an undersized guard. It's very, very rare unless you have Ja Morant athleticism.
Should they be working on the tween?
They should not be working on the tween. That's good to have in your bag, but you should be a knockdown shooter. Obviously have a tight handle, and that mid range is that 1-2 dribble pull up mid range should be your bread and butter.
Yeah,
should be your bread and butter. And I talk about like at my size, like defensively, like mentally, like up here, you have to have a different type of like mindset. Like your aggression level, every practice, every minute, every second you're on that court has to be an all-time high. Like never let go. It should be one of those mindsets where it's like, when I'm on that court, I'm gonna kill whoever's in front of me. Like defensively, it should be like a game for you. Like, oh, I'm not gonna let this guy get by me. Like, cause like you start to see it like this level. This is like the determining factor where like people play or not. You know, it's on the defensive side. Like there's a bunch of guys at this level that can go and make shots or put you in a blender, or like have you ISO and do all this offensive stuff. But it starts in the defensive end.
Now, when I was playing in college, I had like one of the moments where I'm like, oh, this is real basketball up here.
Yeah.
I played against the University of Arizona, and at the time they had three guys who ended up going to the NBA. It was Jordan Hill, Bayless, and Chase Buninger.
Yeah.
And I would never forget, there was a play where Chase Buninger, I was guarding him, and it took like one dribble, jumped from one side, ended up on the other side. I'm like, oh, I thought I was working hard, but I wasn't really. You ever had those moments where where you playing on a court, and you look at it and you like, yo, I didn't know it was like this up here.
No, for sure. Like, technically, this is like our first real season of playing, because last year I played in 6 games and wasn't playing too much. So this is the first time like really getting burned and stuff like that and playing. But I mean, we've played against like so many high level teams and high level guards. Just to name a few. I think we just played against Gonzaga. I think Nemhart was like a great like pushing the pace, like coming downhill. I remember like he got one move on me, like one dribble between, and just went like right by me, threw a lob, jammed it. And then like one guy on GCU that stood out, his name was Grant Foster, like 6'7", like lengthy, like could hoop. Like I tried to get by him, he just stood right in front of me, poked it out, threw it to his man, and probably took off from like damn near 2 feet in the free throw line. Like I'm just watching him like this, like what the heck?
Yeah,
like
bro.
Damn, like what the heck?
Next level shit.
Yeah, next level stuff right there. So you really gotta be cautious of every dribble and just like you just gotta be aware, man.
So young fellas, work on your game, man. I know it's tween. Work on that dribble pull up, man.
Yeah.
You were watching the NBA?
I do. Not a lot, but I watch it. Like I have a pretty brief understanding.
You know
of
what?
what's
That's
happening.
good. That's good that you said not a lot, because that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about like right now. Everyone is talking about NBA viewership.
Yeah.
Why is it down? See, you're younger than me, so I want to know for the young guys.
Yeah.
Why are you guys not watching the NBA? Or not why you not watching the NBA, but what's not attracting you to the NBA as much now?
It's not really like what's not attracting me. I'd say is how like accessible it is to not buy League Pass and just watch it on your phone. Like I'm scrolling through like social media and stuff, specifically TikTok. I'm like going down. I'm like, yo, like I'm watching the game on my phone, like a live like NBA game, and I'm not paying for League Pass. Like I'm watching it for free. You know what I mean?
So I
it's
got
like
cancel my League Pass now.
yeah, like I'm just scrolling down, like okay, like look, the Pistons are playing. Like let me watch them. Let me put it on, and I just go on my phone, just type in Detroit Pistons live on TikTok. I'll be watching for free. But I don't know. I hear a lot of people talking about like, oh, it's boring. Like they just like then it's not the ethical way of playing basketball. But I don't know. Like I enjoy watching. Like I think it's starting to get competitive now.
Yeah,
like, it's starting to get competitive now. The in-season tournament is fun. Like you're seeing like the best hoopers in the world compete at a very high level in November for like a cash prize. And
I enjoy the in-season tournament.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a problem for me.
Yeah,
some people do have a problem with it. I agree.
Yeah,
with
some people do have a problem with that, but I just think it's like an extra like competitiveness to the game like the NBA hasn't seen in how long besides the playoffs. You know what I mean? So I'm still watching it. Maybe not paying for League Pass, but I'm still watching for free on my phone.
When they say not ethical, what are they talking about? All the threes?
Yeah, like I'm hearing like a whole bunch of stuff from my friends. Like, man, like it's getting too easy for them. Like raise the rim. Like come on, like we're gonna raise the rim. Like push the 3-point line. Like push the 3-point
They already
back.
did that.
Yeah. Like how much more are we gonna push it back? And then you have guys who are, just I say like not making the extra read or trying to go like play for themselves and stuff. You're starting to see that a lot too.
Agree.
But I'm still a fan. I'm still a fan of the
Who's your
league,
favorite
man.
player right now?
Right now, I say Cade Cunningham.
Cade Cunningham, he's tough.
Yeah.
Pistons, he's tough.
Yeah, from the Pistons. Yeah.
Favorite player all time?
All time. Let's see. I'll probably have to say like LeBron. LeBron. I just grew up watching him.
Yep.
I say like Michael Jordan stuff wasn't like in my era. So like.
You know what? You the first guy who said that.
Yeah, like
I respect that.
Yeah, like I don't know how people like. I haven't watched a full like Michael Jordan like game. Like how am I gonna speak on that?
I talked about this on one of the shows. I don't understand how young guys say like, "Oh, Magic Johnson, the best point guard." How?
Yeah.
I didn't even see Magic Johnson play, so I can't understand how you think Magic Johnson the best point guard.
That's what I'm saying.
Time.
Like I've watched LeBron since I was a little kid. Like from the start, right? Maybe not from the start, but from like year 4 to like now. What's it, year 20? Like, I've watched full games. I watched them in the playoffs. I watched them in the finals. Like, I've watched them in person. Like what am I going to, how am I going to say Michael Jordan's the GOAT if I've only seen clips? You know what I mean? Or, I've seen the resume. Trust me. I've seen the accolades and stuff.
No, Michael Jordan is tough. I got a chance to grow up watching Michael Jordan.
There you
but
go.
I would still say LeBron, though.
Yeah.
I think LeBron is the best player all the time. I mean, based off just consistency alone.
From
high school on to right now. Like, we've seen him as a teenager, played in 3 different eras.
Yeah.
Obviously, his resume is amazing as far as points goes. He's the lead in all-time leader. So I'm gonna go with that. NIL. Do you think NIL is does it help you guys as players or does it hurt you guys?
No, for sure. I think there's pros and cons to it, but I definitely think the pros outweigh the cons for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think you having it's also like we're talking about competitive. Like it brings a different competitiveness to the game of college basketball. Like you have guys competing like for money in a sort of way. Like like the more you win, the higher you go as far as like the tournament and stuff like that. Like that brings more money for the school,
Right.
which then kind of translates to the players. Like then they feed the players.
Absolutely.
I think it's good though. I think it's good. I think it brings a different aspect to the game, and I think players at this level and the higher levels, like the high majors, should definitely get paid for their work and what they're doing.
Absolutely.
You know, they're playing in front of tens of thousands of people, and who knows like how many people are watching online or on TV and stuff like that. I definitely think they should get credited for their work.
That part I agree with for sure.
Yeah.
Getting credit for their work.
Yeah.
Only thing I I have no fear for you guys. Only thing that cons, if I had to say, is just like just people with the work ethic behind it. You know what I mean? Like I think people don't, but I think it's okay. I don't think everyone. Obviously, everyone's not gonna go to the NBA.
Yeah.
Everyone. I think everyone should have opportunity to get paid for the thing they love to do, especially a craft like basketball. Tell me, what cons do you find with the NIL?
Yeah, like you said, like the work ethic thing. I think it's one of those things where it's like you're a 4th, 5th year guy, you're getting paid 6 figures, and it's a Thursday, Friday. It's a Friday night. Like you got a game that Monday. Like what are you gonna do? I know for underclassmen who really doesn't have that much NIL or doesn't have any at all. Like you kind of figure like, hey, like they're gonna be in the gym, they're gonna be working.
Right.
But that 5th, 4th year guy, they might be like I already have the bag. Like let me like go party or something. I also think like it brings a different like level aspect. Like people can either be like I got paid, like I'm chill, like I'm good, like I'm not gonna work as hard, or like why should I do this? Like I'm good, like they paid me here. So I think it can bring like a few like a variety of like bad things to the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Plus, it might not attract the right people too. People might be doing it for like
just money.
Yeah, just the money or the thing money brings. You know what I mean?
Right.
It may like disrupt or break the love of the game, but I think it's heading like a good trajectory right now.
Yeah.
Good trajectory. Yeah. You gotta be careful who you pay too. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can.
No, I just it's like anything else when things are new. You know, you're gonna have some bad with it, some good with it. I think it's more good. I'm with you on that. I think it's more good than anything. I don't think it's fair for kids to play basketball for so many years, bring so much revenue to schools, but then they're eating top ramen every night.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And plus, like aside from that, like it's really like a full-time job. Like your body's going through the most. Like you're competing at a high level. Like you're doing school. Like you're coming back to practice. Like you're exhausted every night. You know, and like in a sort of way, like you're trying to help the school. Like looking at it from like a bigger picture. Like you're helping the school like creating revenue. Like all this money. So. I think it's more good than bad, like you said. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, another question I wanted to ask you, just going back to the season.
Yeah.
What are the coaches telling you guys? How are coaches during these moments? Because not only do I want the youth to know more about their work, to improve their work ethic and skill set or whatnot, I also want coaches to understand how to handle situations when your team is starting out slow. Or how to keep guys motivated. No,
for sure. I mean, like, we come from, like, a great group of coaches. Steve Lavin, been at this for, like, 35-plus years. Earl Watson, an ex-NBA head coach.
Oh, yes.
Coach Devin Booker. Really close to his guys. We have Coach John Moore, Pat Sandel, Billy McKnight. Like, we have over 200 years of experience on this coaching staff. So, I mean, they've been through it all. Like, as you can imagine, they've been through it all. But having them as our leaders and running practices and like their energy is contagious. They do a lot. They do a lot for us. They want nothing but the best for us. They're up day in, night out. They don't sleep till like 3, 4 a.m. trying to create a scout sheet, like a film for us. So having them and their knowledge and their experiences helps us a lot, you know? Helps a lot. And then you also have coaches who are like player coaches who've played the game. Like Earl Watson has played this game at the NBA level for 10+ years.
I used to watch him growing up.
Yeah.
Do you remember any advice that Earl Watson gave you, or something important that he gave you that kind of would stick with you throughout the season or throughout your career over there?
I mean, like, just keeping like a positive mindset, keeping that head high. Like, he always always injects confidence in every single one of your players. Like, before every game, like, if it don't matter if you miss 10 in a row, if you're open or you're slightly open, shoot it every time, and shoot it with confidence. That's one of the, and you would be surprised because like at this level you wouldn't think like they would say that, like if you miss 10 in a row and you can shoot, like you'd feel like, oh, okay, like let's take it, like let's chill. Nah, Earl Watson, you know, if you can shoot or he knows you have a game, like he's gonna tell you to shoot that, attack it. Like he just injects confidence in players, and that's something every program needs, and we're special to have that here.
Absolutely.
San Diego, yeah.
So what can we before we wrap up, let us know what can we expect out of you guys this year?
A turnaround. There's been a handful of games where we should have won against like people's favorite teams, right? And
because last game y'all was pretty close. Washington State,
we were ahead. It was a heartbreaker, man. We lost. We lost a close one. We shouldn't have lost. But we did. It happens. We're gonna be back at their crib maybe like a month or so, and we're gonna win there. But you guys are gonna see a turnaround for sure, 100%. And don't be surprised when we go on a winning streak.
All right, man. Yeah. Appreciate you, man. I appreciate
thank you for having me. Yes, sir.
Man, appreciate you stopping by.
Yes, sir.
I know you busy.
Man.
Got a game tomorrow night, LMU.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to come over there.
Yeah, 100%.
Hopefully, let's get our cameras in there. But we're gonna try to come over there. But man, if we don't, I think we will. You got something to do tomorrow? You ain't got nothing. 6 o'clock. You ain't got, bro.
Come through.
He don't have nothing to do.
It's gonna be a good game.
He don't got anything to do.
Yeah.
So we'll be there tomorrow.
We'll
be there tomorrow.
Check
you guys out, man. But look, appreciate you. And keep balling, keep doing what you're doing.
Yes, sir.
It's always nothing but good gonna happen.
That's what I'm saying. It's just the beginning, man. It's just the beginning. Yeah. Beginning.
All right, there you can have it. Another show on Scoring Society TV. Again, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. So next time, let's continue to think elite and together. Welcome to Score Society.